Voilà. Bienvenue, Laki. Welcome, Laki. I dobrodošao, Laki. Thank you for being here today. It's a big present that you're giving to me and for my path, my spiritual path and my scientific path. So thank you. I would like you to introduce you to the people who don't know you yet, but what you're doing is so immense and so big, and I think that you're one of the person who continues, if I may say, the work of Nikola Tesla. So can you introduce to us who you are and what did you do as a doctor of physics in Belgrade, and what did you discover?
Thank you, Alexandra. Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure, really, and I honor this opportunity to share something what I reached in my, so to say, expansion of consciousness. When I introduce myself, I always start like this. I am that I am, lucky of sovereign domain. And that is huge, huge truth, because each and every one of us human beings is consciousness. I am, I exist. And what we are doing here in 3D body, we are actually acting something. And everything else about me is act of my consciousness. I underline my consciousness because, Alexandra, you have your consciousness. Every human being has its own consciousness. Consciousness is not something general, as it is believed even in quantum physics. Some feature, some phantom feature, unimaginable, not explainable, and so on. No, consciousness is personal. I have my consciousness, you have your consciousness, and so on. But I'm a doctor of physics officially. That's what I'm acting. It was very successful because I got my research professor when I was 45, 1995. And 5 years later, I left official institution, the Institute of Physics, where I was employed. The main reason was to go my own way to discover truth about myself. Who am I? And also to discover the real laws of creation, because I didn't trust much the truth of the authorities that is shared at universities, in schools, and so on. Because for me, there were some laws which are simply not true. Opposite cannot attract each other. And you have in science, the main Coulomb law, opposite attract each other because they see plus and minus pole of magnets or electric poles. They attract it, they go to each other, but they cannot attract each other. That's nonsense. And I discovered the truth about it, why it is so later. And also the electrostatic unit of charge, negative charged unit electron, negative charge, is also absolutely meaningless because one can charge in this charge. To charge means to add to increase. Negative charge would mean to add to by subtraction. That has no meaning. It's a meaningless. So later I discovered the truth about it. And then I discovered the truth about the atom, what is atom and what is electron, what is particle, what is cell, and also published a book about it under the title God in the Atom. And later I discovered also the presence of the new energy on this planet, energy of love, conscious energy, and I have realized power of human conscious intent. That is unlimited power of human conscious intent. There is no more stronger power in the cosmos, in the universe, in the creation than the power of human conscious intent. And we human beings, we are called human. It comes from higher universal man. Human means we only in the universe possess the divine feeling compassion. And we create with that feeling. That is unbelievable that we create with passion, with desire. So for this presentation, I prepared one PowerPoint and to present the basics of creation, the basics of energy and creation with energy, in order to initiate your audience and everyone who will watch later this video, to go their own way and to discover who they are, and then discover the power, unlimited power of their conscious intent, of their allowance, of their creation, conscious creation with energy. That's unbelievable. And a long time I had a dream. My goal, my dream goal was to create civilization without electricity, to create everything without electricity, honoring my great brother Nikola Tesla, of course, who is father of this civilization of electricity. But it's possible to create everything without electricity. And that is a huge, huge, amazing challenge. The funny thing is, during evolution of my intention to reach that goal, I reached something much bigger, and that is that everything can be created without hardware, without software, without anything, just commanding or allowing energy to create that what I am request from the energy. And that is absolutely far beyond that I had in my mind at the beginning, and now I am somewhere at the end of that challenge, of that path, of that evolution, to be really able to create with energy. For example, that as a first example, I'm going to create in my apartment here heat, temperature desired without use of any outside, just with a pure energy. And my commandment.
Would you say that you can create and manifest anything from the void? What space, what are you using to manifest?
Yes. From the void is a kind of foggy. Nobody knows what is void. Void is empty. It's nothingness, but with energy. Energy is not empty. It is not nothingness. Energy is absolutely real. Energy is a servant of consciousness and waiting for consciousness to initiate and activate it with its passion. Our passion, my passion, your passion, our desires activate energy to serve us in a way that we request it. And the whole, this creation, this civilization is a creation with energy where we are demanding and allowing energy to serve us in these limited ways. And that is what energy is doing, because we are actually requesting from energy, that we are commanding energy to serve us in this way. But we can also command energy to serve us in a powerless way, without power, without using anything from the outside, without using any power, any fuel, no coal, no nuclear, no wind, no solar, no liquid fuel, nothing. Just a pure energy which is present everywhere and waiting for us to activate it and create anything what we wish in the instant, just allowing energy to serve us appropriately. That's amazing challenge, really. And I will, during the presentation, also suggest your audience, esteemed audience, and and everybody else to how to train yourself to reach that goal. And everybody who decides for it will for sure come to the end of the journey and to be able to do it by self.
Thank you.
So for this
Of course,
presentation,
we will
yes.
try to do a first part interview to summarize what is energy. But of course, if we go really deeply in your knowledge, we are going in a much more complex knowledge about what is and the responsibility of being a human being, you know. So I hope there will be part 2 and 3 to go much more deeper in that knowledge. But let's go, Laki. You have the hand.
Okay, there will be, but the beauty of it is it's a more simplicity. It's not complicated, Alexandra. But okay, for this presentation, I prepared a PowerPoint, and I will share now my screen, and then I hope you see that.
Perfect.
Okay. And what is with this? How can I remove this? It goes up. That's okay. Oh, no, it's not okay. And now it's okay. So, the title of this presentation is I am presence. I am presence, that is consciousness. I exist, I am. And when I am present in a now moment right here, what I am presence is. And this part beyond the quantum physics is because most of that what I will share now is beyond quantum physics. Quantum physics reached that point that they know that consciousness creates a whole simulation, as they say, but they don't know who is consciousness. And the simplicity is we human beings are consciousness. They are consciousness. And I put on my picture from the time I was involved in quantum physics. But now I'm beyond quantum physics. So you look at my picture now. I am lucky of sovereign domain. Here is my website. And on my website, there is a lot. And at the top of my website, you can find I am a sovereign creator. And the whole journey here on this planet of us human beings is to learn how to become a sovereign creator, how to create with energy whatever we wish and whenever we wish. And that's amazing. That's amazing challenge. And I would share now the basics. The first and foremost, as a thankful man, to express my thankfulness, sincere thankfulness, and unlimited thankfulness to my great teacher, Walter Russell. Sorry?
Yeah,
Walter Russell.
all your gratitude for that man, Walter Russell.
Yes, who is the most important incarnation on this planet of all times. This guy is the first one who brought knowledge. It is believed that in science there is knowledge, but in science there is no knowledge. In science there is information, because science is based on information that we get through our senses, and our senses are deceiving us and delivering us upside down. And that's why I have discovered that almost all scientific laws are opposite of the truth. For example, that law, opposite attract each other. The real law is same attract each other. You can literally turn upside down what is believed in science and you get the truth. And this great creator, who is father of this civilization of electricity, Nikola Tesla, my great teacher. I love him, and this is the only man whose creation is so big, so immense, so great, grand, that if we would now delete everything what Tesla has created, the whole civilization, electric car and no AC, no motors, no, everything else what he has discovered. Absolutely the greatest inventor of all time, in my humble opinion. So when I decided to leave the official science and official scientific institutions, was motivated by finding the truth about myself, and also to find the truth about creation and laws of creation. And my motto, my guiding motto was authority of truth, not truth of authorities. I said, I respect you, Einstein. I respect you, Bohr, Schrödinger, and all of you great authorities who shared with us your truth, but I'm going to discover my truth, because I believe that there is my truth, which could differ from their truth, and it turned out that I was right. So I discovered the right concept of atom. There are no electrons and protons, neutrons in nucleus and so on. That is absolutely impossible, against all laws of creation. An atom consists of light rings, which are spinning around the centering 0 point, which is the source of energy, and from which source these light rings are taking energy in order to spin. And that is the right concept of atom. I have published in the center that 0 point. At that time, I call it God in the atom, creation of the creator, which is centering its creation. And later on, I discovered also many other things, and the real concept of cell. Cell is not that what is believed in medical science at all. And then I discovered later also presence on this planet of the new energy, conscious energy, energy of love, which can balance everything, which responds to human consciousness, to human conscious intent, and can balance everything, anything, if we allow it. If we allow it, just not giving it agenda, just send a light and it works. I published this book, God in the Atom, is my website. The Deca 101 Love Energy also. One can find it if interested, but you find by me everywhere 101. Why 101? Because every civilization at the end will be destroyed or continue depending on it. If there were more people who are for love, peace, and prosperity of all human beings, or there was greediness of those who are in power position to keep their power for control, manipulation, enslavement, and so on. Mm-hmm. No one of previous civilization can pass this mark, and it happened for the first time on August 17th, 1987, because there were 144,000 of us human beings who were for peace, for love, for mutual understanding, respect, and everything else, not for the power, for control, for manipulation. And the first civilization that passed that mark and went into the new creation is this current civilization, and that is one. Numerologically, you have one as a beginning, 0 is potential for anything. Before August 17th, 1987, that is the whole creation, 1, 0. 0 stands for duality, And now is a new beginning and creation without duality. And that is amazing, amazing. And we are now very deep into this era, new era of consciousness out of duality. And there will be an opportunity where I will explain the physics of the changes that are happening right now on the planet and immensity of that everything, what we are now experiencing and what we have created. Not any God on heaven, in heaven, outside of us. We have created that everything and we are experiencing that. Then I have discovered that power of human conscious intent, and I call this technology I Change Consciously, ICC. And I put my conscious intent in a simple sticker because it's a easy, simple, efficient, and cheap. And then balanced radiation, microwave radiation, which is dangerous, absolutely dangerous for human health. And it was certified by measurements. And at the end of this development of this, I changed consciously, I changed technology. I developed a so-called conscious chip, DECA 101, where one create anything without electricity. Without electricity, and this is on the right side. You see dodecahedron with pyramid on one side. And when I place conscious intent in this conscious chip I created, I call it conscious chip, then I succeeded to balance radiation from Switzerland to London, distances. And my dream was, at that time, my dream was to create a civilization without electricity, because this conscious chip creates without electricity. There are no electronic components inside, nothing. So, but now there was evolution in last 2 days, an expansion of my consciousness. Yes, I created this so-called Tesla radiation balancer is on my website, which can balance any radiation, microwave radiation, or cell phones, which is absolute danger, especially for 5G, and can balance Wi-Fi routers and anything else. I use that name Tesla, not for some greedy purposes, but because I'm promoter of the Tesla style of creation, immortal style in 7 steps, which I mastered to almost to perfection, and then went out of it to create directly without energy, without hardware. So the basic existential question is, who am I? Who am I? Without real answer to that question, in my opinion, anything else has no sense. If I don't know who am I, and every time I say I was, I did, I went, I whatever, it has no sense if I don't know who am I. And I found the answer to that, and anybody can find that answer and experience that. It's through conscious breathing. Simply take a deep conscious breath through the nose only and breathe out through the mouth. For 5 minutes, you will actually connect with the spirit within and feel the peace and the beauty of the connection with your own soul, with yourself. And more details about it one can find on my website in those books also. So we are consciousness, and consciousness means pure awareness. I am aware of my awareness. The symbol of consciousness is the circle, yes, with the dot in the middle and C. And then I put here different passions for politics, sport, for finances, for health and everything else. So there are billions of different passions on this planet, of the souls who are incarnating in order to experience and create based on their passion to attract appropriate energy. So at the beginning, there is I am, I exist, pure nothingness, just awareness. And there is one desire, one idea. That idea and desire is of creation, of the I am. One desire. I underline the word desire because we human beings, we create with desire. When I mentioned that for the first time, people laugh about it. How we create with desire? That's impossible. No, we work hard. And so, no. I said, imagine you have a house, you have heating on coal, and you get 20 tons coal. And then you have a shovel, take a shovel, and break that coal in cells during one day at 20 tons. And then you calculate what you have eaten, drunk, and everything during the day and transfer into calories and anything else. It's no more than 20 kilo maximum. But you moved 20 tons. And I ask you, what moved these 20 tons? Is desire. It's desire. Of course.
We could say also the willing, right?
Yeah, the power of will.
Yeah.
Desire or passion. I prefer desire and passion because will is more mental. Desire and passion comes from the soul. Will comes from the mind, and will is limited also. Works for a while, limited, but then disappears. So that main desire, that one desire for expression, for creation, is expressed to twofold desire, through twofold desire, to unfold and refold the seed of all knowing into imaged forms of imagination, by seemingly, I underline seemingly, dividing wholeness into parts, stillness into motion, unchangeable into change, unconditionable into conditioned, void into form, infinity into space, and eternity into time, and immortality into mortality. That's amazing. That's why creation is an act of consciousness. It's imagine. And by the way, as a proof, science has never ever discovered anything material as a seed. They have microscope which can multiply many million times, but they have, because it is imagined. It is two-dimensional. It does not have 3D. It does not have thickness. You cannot record it on the microscope. So that's amazing truth when one comes to that level of awareness, of consciousness, to realize that everything what you do, what I do in my life, is that I'm acting something. And my daughter asked me, what have you done today? And I said, I was acting, cutting the grass, and very successfully, and she was laughing. So I recommend this book from Adamus and Germain, Act of Consciousness. I have ordered this book a few months ago, and that changed my life completely into that direction. That's absolutely possible to command and to allow energy to create anything with energy without any hardware, without anything else except deep conscious breath and allowing energy, and it's done. I recommend this energy. You can find it on internet. I don't know if there is a translation in French, maybe.
Certainly, yes.
And then you can. That's a living book. That's a living book. So there is discussion in religion. At the beginning there was word. No, at the beginning there was out breath. I am took the out breath and created me and sent me forth to experience. Because I am had to express, open, and experience. In order to know something, I exist, but who am I? I can know through experience who am I. I am that I am. Whatever I experience, I am that I am. And said to me, go forth. I give you freedom. I give you soul. I give you divine will. Go forth beyond that all I know and create. And that's the very beginning. And that is how I got my unique identity, my sovereignty, my own soul, my choice, free will. We call it free will. Actually, it's a divine will, and my creative divine will, divine knowingness or gnost. Word came later as expression. I don't like to discuss about it. So, because that one whole idea of creation, one desire of creation consists in it, includes in, contains in it also every other idea, even the idea of man in action. And that is how human in action had been created. The core soul desires, just to repeat it, to know self, to excel, and to evolve beyond into unknown. To evolve beyond into unknown. So, I am consciousness, I am not energy. Energy and consciousness are separated, so that I have to call in energy in order to create with energy. And when I got my unique identity, my own consciousness, first thing that I have done, I exist, I consciousness, I have separated and then created my feminine, masculine aspect, outward looking of opposites. Actually, I created world of duality and went to experience the world of duality, of separation, and to experience in order to know who am I. And ever since, my soul has been created aspect after aspect of itself, aspect after aspect after aspect. And that is an amazing thing. I call it aspectology. The beauty of aspectology is that each of these aspects, we call it lifetimes, past lifetimes, creates their own aspects, sub-aspects, and so on and so forth. But the beauty of it, that is everything expression of my soul, no matter if it is judged bad or good or anything else, because soul stays pure. It cannot touch the soul. And the only reason why we create those aspects is that soul can distill wisdom from all these experiences and then increase joy of being. In clear words, for all those who do not understand, soul is a desire for being or joy of being. And that is, who am I?
Yes.
That is why, in practical words, never ever judge yourself and your experience differently than good. That what means love yourself. Love yourself and trust yourself, and you are on the journey to discover self through bad and good and so on. That is a matter. That is an issue of past. Now comes that issue of energy. Energy is not understood in science, is not understood in civilization, and we are trained and hypnotized that we have to go for energy outside of ourselves, somewhere in Earth, in wherever. So mainly outside of ourselves, but we possess energy within ourselves, unlimited energy ready to save us. How energy has been created first and foremost? As I said, first thing we have done, we separated from the whole. Desire for separation created necessarily as a balance desire to come back.
Mm-hmm.
And that desire to come back created energy as a communication. Compressed desire is energy. It is communications. Energy is communications. The whole time on my journey, when I separated me from the source, from the home, from the balance, I communicate with the source through the energy.
Mm-hmm.
And that is amazing explanation, absolute true explanation. And almost nobody, I don't know if anybody in science, in quantum physics, understands the simple fact that energy is communication. And energy is actually existing first and foremost in a neutral state as a pure potential, waiting for consciousness, for the passion of consciousness to be activated and to set in motion and to finally be expressed in material forms or other forms, this situation and anything else.
Can I ask you something, Laki? Do you fusion yourself with the source, or do you remain a separate consciousness from the big consciousness and using the energy as a conductor? Do you understand what I'm saying? Or do you say, I am what I am in the source, in all that it is? Or do you separate?
From the point where this happened, this separation, there is no more source, because source expresses itself in all of us. Billions, and that is the source in motion. That is consciousness in motion, because in your body, that is consciousness now squeezed in your body, compressed in your body, and that's why you should always state I am my consciousness, my energy, my field, everything in my personal, sovereign, yours. But we will see later how we can reunite with energy and become one again, my own oneness, not some universal oneness, some universal consciousness, some universal souls to which we come back together and unite and come and become the source again, one source. That doesn't function that way. We can reach our own oneness. When you, Alexandra, integrate all your past lifetimes into your beingness, and when you then integrate energy in your beingness, and then you become your own oneness, and you become the sovereign creator, which can create with energy beyond that what is known, experience unlimited potentials. And that happens to you when you allow your soul, your I am, to reunite with you. Actually, your home comes to you, and with you together experiences on this planet, walking in a physical body together with you. That's how it works. Oftentimes people want something tangible. Who am I? And that's how I define it. Point of desire in the field of consciousness. That point of desire is my soul. I'm fully aware of myself, centering around that point my wave fields and recording them are a dual body, because body is not single, not that what we see with eyes. There is a counterpart, space counterpart with this, which is not invisible. It's a dual body, and anybody who wants more about it can find in my papers, which are on my website. I'm actually soul being. Soul means that I possess ability to initiate energy into desired form with my passion. With my passion, desired form is any motion, which is actually electric potential. And the reason I would like to share that also by this opportunity. The reason why this planet had been created and why we have started to incarnate here on this planet was that there was concern that the energy could get stuck, motionless, and that would destroy the whole creation. And then 144,000 angelic families gathered together and decided to create planet Earth and to send us, the most courageous angels, to incarnate, create a body, and to experience in these most dense conditions, where gravity and energy and everything else is so dense, to experience how energy behaves in these conditions. And we have succeeded after billions of years of incarnation of this planet. Finally, in April 2020, we have finally succeeded and resolved that issue, that energy is a servant of consciousness, and that is not, there is no some law which would allow energy to get stuck. It depends on us, human beings, because we command energy.
Yes.
And that's a huge discovery, of course. And here is the end of one era of duality. As I said, August 17th, 1987. And the old energy was actually energy which was created as a compressed desire to come back to self. But when that process of coming back begins to take place, then the new energy is created. When the process of coming back begins to take place, because coming back means coming to balance, no more separate masculine, feminine, dark, light, and spirit and human. Home, spirit comes to human, we unite, and then in physical body on this planet, we experienced anything, everything. And that is what is new energy. In other simple explanation, with every experience, new experience of my soul, the spire of my consciousness expands and expands with any experience, and at one moment it turns back and comes within, inside, back. And that is the moment when new energy is created. And there is no more duality. We have entered, we are deep now in this new era of consciousness, no duality, and all these changes that are happening now on this planet are consequences of that effects of that process of the creation of the new energy coming back to self. and there are new potentials which has never been imagined, never experienced, and now available to us to go and experience those potentials. And that's the beauty, and that is what is said in the beginning: go beyond into unknown. And that happens when the new energy is created, because that energy has never ever been present, ever created, and is now available, and everything is new. And that is the end of power and end of battle. Everything what we are experiencing now, what is expression of power and battle, is losing momentum every day and becoming less and less efficient. And that is cause of a massive depression in the whole civilization. People go to doctors and ask for pills. And no, you should understand that old ways do not function anymore. They are not off. They are not efficient. They are off. You have adjust yourself to new ways, to the new energy. No more power, no more force, no more efforting, no more fear, no more battle. Creation with joy, simplicity. Look, that is the new energy unit, the dodecahedron with 6 pairs of spirals. It's just so joyful and likes to play with us, Alexandra.
Yes, I see.
Appreciate
I like
it.
it.
Of course, it's a conscious energy. We were expecting something special, and we have experienced it. You have seen it. So that calls also paradigm shift. Creation with old energy was hard, complicated, inefficient, and expensive. The whole civilization, this civilization is an example of it. Creation with power, force, fear, efforting, but no more. Now, easy, simple, efficient, and cheap, new energy way. Creation with joy, simplicity, freedom, and passion. Creation with passion. And that's why I have created this protection from the radiation, harmful effects of radiation, created as a sticker. It's a simple, cheap, efficient, very. And that's what I like to show to people. On the way you are biking on the mountain, sweating, working hard, and so on. And the new way, you sit on the bike and just let the scenery come on. You don't pedal even. That's a new way. That's absolutely possible. That's absolutely possible. When I reach that point to create a temperature in my apartment, here in my house, with energy, without use of anything else, I have reached that tipping point on the right side of the new way.
Yes.
It's a funny, it's also challenging. It's the key of the creation new era is to energy. Because this is your full trust in yourself, in your ability to command energy and to let energy serve you in a way that that's the point how we become conscious selves in this civilization, aware of self, and then aware of the game all around us, power game, but not responding to it, not judging it, just stay still observer.
Yes.
Take a deep breath, send the new energy to balance it without agenda. It knows, new energy is conscious and knows how to do it, and you go and enjoy life. And that's the new era wisdom. Go enjoy your life, and the new energy which is present on this planet with will balance everything, no matter what you do. You just enjoy life and be aware that you are sovereign creator also. And then I come to the very point of this presentation. What you see here is my artistic view of this creation. The black here in the middle is a consciousness, and that considered as a light, and light creates an energy as a potential all around it. And then the light splits everywhere in all directions. Cannot be drawn differently than like that, but okay. But what is important, a strand of that light comes directly to the planet Earth and carrying that intent for the most dense conditions and creating these most dense conditions on this planet, so that we came here to experience it, and we resolved that issue. We have fulfilled our assignment, and we are now enjoying life, creating with a new energy. And that's how I finish my presentation now. With that, I am lucky of sovereign domain.
Thank you, Laki. Can you say that being a creator and remembering that is being God ourselves, being the I am who manifests and command? Can we?
Yes, absolutely. When you trust who you are, you can change your acting anytime you wish. And there is in this book of Active Consciousness of Saint Germain, Adamus Saint Germain, you can find it for a healing forever, because healing is an issue that is everywhere by people. You understand, first and foremost, that any health issue that I understand, okay, I apply for myself, I love it. I understand that any health issue that I have is a product of power, because power is an illusion. You can change it and then get out of power and act powerless, and you get healed. And in detail, it is described in this book. I recommend all those people who are serious about healing their problems, physical illnesses, and so on, to study this book, and they will find solution there. But from my point of view, the core issue to understand is all power, all energy is within me.
Yes.
I don't need to go out to any doctor, to any God in heaven, to any guru, to anybody else. All I need is take a deep conscious breath and allow energy to serve you. When you take a deep conscious breath, your intent goes deep, and then you breathe it out, and then new energy goes and brings you solution. Most probably, most unexpected solution, but it is the
Yeah. So we can say that the healing is processing into that 0 point, right? Energy. It's like we're not creating more energy, more battle, but within we are becoming like stillness. And because sometimes we're using, the word, the sentence, the 0 point, where we can economize ourselves, we can regenerate ourselves also. Do you agree?
That is absolutely right. I'm amazed that you reached that wisdom of the purpose of 0 point. The 0 point is a kind of a point where passion activates energy. You understand that energy sits in a neutral state?
Yes.
In your passion, or my passion for healing, for example, goes to 0 point and activates neutral energy, and then energy will be activated, polarized, and then moved and created desired outcome cycle of energy, how it starts from neutral through 0 point, will be polarized, and then will take care patterns and will come back and so on. Patterns means create every desired form. This is a pattern. And then understanding then that everything moves within consciousness. That all the paradigm people believe that an object is moving through time and space. It's not true. Everything moves within me. It is me, consciousness, moving my perception of this ball to move or anything else. So there is nothing outside of me. And it is a huge breakthrough for everyone who understands it. So travel to distant galaxies and distant planets and stars, and it comes to you. It comes to me. It's absolute change in anything what is known in science and believed in science, and so considered as a truth and applied in practical life and so on. This changes everything, and that is what ascended masters are. Beings who understand that everything moves within them and comes to them, and that then they are commanders of that energy. That energy serves them, and the freedom and sovereignty is only possible. And you understand that you are sovereign creator with energy. That energy is yours, that serves you, and then you are sovereign. It does not depend from anything outside.
Yes, and just to finish, to summarize again a little bit, what I like about your work is that you command the energy. So we can find in your website, it's a very big website, there's so much things, so interesting things, and you always command the energy. And when I do, as I told you last time, you know, the quantum healing or care of the soul, I command the energy to go deep into that neutral state. So do you understand what I want to say? Is that always you command the energy to come back at you into your sovereignty and to do what you would like, you know, for one purpose, you know,
to fulfill your passion, your desire.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely right, Alexander. Absolutely right. You are totally right. That's fine. That's fine. You are goddess.
I am
goddess.
yes. So thank you, Laki, for so much knowledge in such a short time. I can wait again to share so many details and to ask you many things again. You share again. I want to say, can you tell us in your website what can we find? So your books, what you have done also about against the 5G.
Yes. On my website, you can find almost everything what I have created. Protection against radiation, Tesla radiation balancer, my 6 ebooks, God in the Atom, the Deca 101, Love Energy, and Shine Your Light, Don't Take Side, what is the most appropriate and most important now in these times when there is a war on 2 points on the planet, and our role is to balance it through our light. We shine our light without agenda, and it will be balanced. That's amazing. And then there is one link, my scientific papers for those who like details. I can't remember.
And so much more. And so
yes. Occasionally I put something.
Yes, because I saw how much you channel information and about the actual war that is going on. I read it and it's so beautiful and so true. I like it so
And
much.
thank you, Alexandra. The beauty of this journey, discovering self, is not only in that to do it for me, for myself, but also to share to others, to help them to do the same. And that joy of sharing cannot be replaced with anything else. It's a so fulfilling. I love that feeling. I love that feeling and doing everything to experience that feeling again and again.
I agree completely. Thank you, Lucky, and
Thank you.
see you next time. Okay.
Thank you, Alexandra, and
Thank you.
enjoy life. Have a nice day.
Thank
Stay
you.
in touch.
Thank you.
Bye bye.